We segue nicely into the final match. I am yet to actually react to this, and this is my reaction. I am very, very proud of what the USA did today.
For sure, one
And
hundred fucking
yep,
percent.
and I have to say, England, I don't know what it is, man. How could you play so convincing in the first match and then you come in the second game and you could look so average? I know I'm not taking anything away from the USA. It's just England. You look so average. These guys are kids, you know. You see what I mean? And
Yeah,
if you're gonna put up your hand and say you're one of the World Cup favorites and you come to win this World Cup, you ain't gonna win no World Cup like that. Because if this was a better team, like let's say a Spain or France, England would be packing their bags. They would have been on the plane to England already. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
But kudos to the USA, man. They could have won this game as well.
I can't remember the. I never thought we'd be talking about this, and me saying that we could and maybe even should have won this match. We should have beaten England in
Yeah.
a World Cup. I
Oh,
mean, God,
oh, oh. Just as you said that, I know I predicted a big win for England, and most people did,
me too.
right? Most people did. But I have to say this. England have never beaten the USA at the World Cup. 1950, they lost. 2010, a 1-1 draw. And 2022, a 0-0 draw. And I think the last time the USA actually failed to, they actually kept a clean sheet. There was a stat, the last time they kept a clean sheet or something like that was in that game back in 1952, 1950, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get the correct stat for you. But that was amazing. So continue your point if sorry to interrupt.
Dominic, we dominated them for large stretches of this match.
Big time.
I mean, I felt like we were winning most of those 50-50 challenges, and I mentioned that in my reaction that I uploaded. And I mean, just the runs that we were making. Did you notice we were forcing them to make so many awkward clearances, and when we won, I think we won 3-4 quarters consecutively because their back line was disjointed. Did you see the nutmeg that Weston McKennie had in the
No,
build?
I didn't see it. I didn't see the nutmeg. I can't really go into deep details because I was like, because you still have to go along with the everyday life. I had to run into Right Aid to pick up, and I'm listening to the game as I'm doing everything.
Bro,
It's so difficult, man.
okay, so the highlight when Pulisic hits the
Mhm.
crossbar.
Yeah, I did see all of that.
Go,
I saw everything. Weston McKennie should have scored.
go.
When you're playing against England and you get opportunities like that, you have to bury them. You have to punish England. Weston McKennie should have scored, right? Christian Pulisic could have scored as well. And there was a few other very good opportunities for the USA. If we go and we check the stats, outshot England, but only one on target, right?
Right.
Only one on target. So it's not like if there was many other chances where Pickford had to come up with big saves or whatnot. But the USA just looked way more dangerous, especially down the right flank where England was struggling with Luke Shaw. And England, apart from that Harry Kane effort that was blocked and that Mason Mount shot that was actually saved by Matt Turner, there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't many other
They didn't.
opportunities or any dangerous moments.
No,
I
they didn't.
think I think USA handled themselves very well.
We did. And the first 15, 20 minutes, they were putting massive pressure on us and they were forcing us to set up in that deep
Yep.
block. But we handled that like warriors, honestly. And whenever we went on the break, we looked really, really dangerous. We looked so dangerous. And the reason that I was saying when you get the chance, go back and watch the 30 seconds prior to Pulisic's crossbar. Watch the build-up play to that and what McKennie was doing. He was on fire today. And like you said, he has to get that effort on target. He skies it. That's something that could really come back to bite us, which is everything has been almost perfect in these last two games. It's just the finishing which is the
Yeah.
most frustrating part. But again, I'm still a little bit in a state of shock because I didn't think we would be this assertive in how we set up against England, and how once we weathered that earlier storm, how we just came on and we just took the game by the scruff of the neck, and unlucky to not score. And I would say, I think for the most part, the tactical approach to this game was correct. The only really main criticism I have is in the second half when we had our substitutions. I know that Dest looked like he needed to come off. I personally would have liked to have seen Joe Scally get in there instead of Shaq Moore.
Okay.
But
maybe there's a pecking order too, you know what I'm saying?
There could be a pecking order. Do you think that Reina came on a little bit too late?
Well, at least he came on. Let me just say that.
Sure.
Because his dad was there, you know, maybe his dad was at the first game, and his dad said to Greg Berhalter, "Hey man, don't make me come to another game and you don't play my boy." You know what I'm saying? But I have to say this, right? If this game was being judged on points like a boxing match, the USA would have won.
Sure.
You see what I mean? Because
Sure.
England looked a shadow of that England team that destroyed Iran. But I have to say, they are not in a very, very bad position, because that point is actually a good point. They didn't lose, so they could go back to the drawing board and say, hey, at least they know they cannot slip up against Wales.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I was thinking the same thing. Like, this point we got from here, even though we should have won, I think, it puts lovely pressure on Wales now, on England rather, because England are going to go out there, and the entire probability of them going out and making rotations against Wales, had they be doing it with 6 points, that's now completely gone. They're going to go out there and they're going to try to win. And that, I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but like, there's still a chance. Wales, you know, two home nations playing each other.
Yeah.
So you don't want to count them out entirely, but we put ourselves in a decent position here. Would have preferred 3 points. I mean, England, of course, will are in a good spot to still come in first, but I mean, you can just imagine how much the media and the tabloids there are ripping these guys tomorrow morning, like right tonight and tomorrow morning.
Yes, because this is the USA. I think this is a moral victory for the USA, the fans, everybody, the former players, everybody who was hyping this game up. It's a moral victory, you know, for the players as well. But the thing is, you pick up these moral victories, but the USA only has 2 points, right?
Yeah.
Only 2 points. A draw against Iran means the USA are eliminated.
Yeah.
Without losing a game, right?
Well, moral victories are fine, but we need wins now.
Exactly. You need wins on the scoreboard. That's what you need. That's what counts the most. And England, even if England lose, let's say if England lose to Wales, England could still go through. Because with Iran, if Iran picks up a draw against the USA, if we take a look at the table right about now, Iran with a draw goes up to 4 points. They have a -2 goal difference, right? But if Wales if they do beat England, their goal difference would actually be a lot better than Iran. So right. Iran need Wales not to win.
Correct. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's set up very, very nicely. I think Group A is going to be very, very difficult to predict the last match day. Anything could happen, as we know. But right now, because Iran and USA are so politically charged, and Iran is so good defensively, it could be a situation USA go and destroy Iran. But I just have a good feeling about this Iranian team now, with the whole context and everything that's, you know, the narrative, everything that's going on right now. I just have a feeling they go through for the very, very first time. They get into the round of 16. I'm having a good feeling about them. Them and England might actually go through.
It's interesting because I think that on paper, we have the means to beat Iran, and we should beat Iran. But the context, like you said, of just what's going on in the country right now, and that seeps through into football. And one of the reasons I had Iran advancing in my initial predictions was because I felt, you know what, Kirosh is back for third time, possibly third time the charge. He knows these players already. They did well in Asian qualifying, so they're already a good team. Now this added incentive, they could very well have the spirits on their side. And what's interesting about the U.S., we have to be careful here because we have to win. And like you said, like you alluded to, Iran, they were really lethal today on the counter. They can punish us. So, I mean, I actually crunched the numbers of different scenarios. The U.S. can actually finish anywhere between first and last in this group. I think we're the only team that can finish first, second, third, or fourth in this group. It's insane.
Yeah. So even if the U.S. go and put out some good performances at the World Cup and not lose a game, look good, they still won't get into the knockouts without winning. It's
Win
a
or go
must
home,
win.
boys.
Yep, win or go home.